welcome to Melbourne Tullamarine International Airport here in North Melbourne. Today I will be flying with Link Airways on a Saab 340B on a route that I have done before over at Essendon, but now it's since been moved to here. Join me, let's fly to Wollongong. When booking my previous flight, which was from Jakarta on Garuda, Indonesia, I was originally planning on catching an easy Qantas flight back to Sydney, but learning later that my parents were going to be in Wollongong, I figured why not try a route that I have done before. Before we continue, let's briefly talk about the airline we are about to fly on, which I have never really covered before. Link Airways, formerly known as Fly Corporate, is a relatively small airline operating in the eastern coast of Australia to many destinations in Queensland, New South Wales, ACT and Victoria, with the most notable destination being Hobart on the island of Tasmania. Established in 1972, excluding Qantas, they are Australia's oldest still operating airline. They operate a fairly small fleet of turboprop aircraft, including the Saab 340 and Swearingen Metroliner. This afternoon I shall be flying on a Saab 340 up to... well, the airport has multiple names. Depending on who you are and your geographical location, you may have heard different names such as Wollongong Airport, Shellharbour Airport, Albion Park Aerodrome, or Illawarra Regional Airport. Trust me when I say this, they are all the same. Link Airways uses Terminal 4 here at Tullamarine, along with Rex and Jetstar. There is only a single counter located at the southernmost point of the building, adjacent to Rex, which also handles the groundwork for Link. Once I had dropped off my bag, and with my boarding pass in hand, I proceeded to security. Getting to security is fairly easy. After turning right from the check-in counter, continue straight until you see the yellow escalators, which will take you up to the security checkpoint. Security this afternoon was fairly alright, taking approximately 10 minutes to pass through, as the mid-afternoon rush was taking place. Depending on the ticket you buy at booking, this could grant you lounge access. However, don't be fooled. Even if you have Virgin Lounge membership like I do, you still will not be able to get in unless you have the most expensive ticket possible, which was very disappointing on Virgin's part. I decided to wander around a little bit before heading down to the gate, including getting some lunch. The Rex and Link Airways flights, generally speaking, depart out of gates 30 to 33, which are on the way towards the Jetstar gates. However, they are down the escalators off to the left. This could be subject to change, as every flight is different, so make sure you check the departures board. Eventually, the boarding call was made over an hour late, and we boarded through gate 33. As Link Airways' aircraft sit on a remote stand, a bus service is required to shuttle everyone to the plane, which gave me an absolutely fantastic view of the southern apron, including several Jetstar A320 family aircraft. Upon arriving at the remote stand, I got an up-close and personal look at the aircraft flying us to Wollongong today, which is a Saab 340B Plus, registered as Victor Hotel Victor Echo Papa. She was built in Linköping, Sweden in 1995, being delivered brand new to Calm Air of Canada under Charlie Foxtrot Tango Juliet Whiskey. She was then moved to Fly Corporate in 2012 under her current registration, and in the later years, she was rebranded and painted in this pretty blue livery, making this aircraft 29 years old. Link Airways' Saab 340s are in an all-economy class layout with 34 seats in a 1-2 layout, with the last row being in a row of 4. Today I shall be seated in my favourite seat, 1 Charlie. The seat has 30 inches of pitch and 18.5 inches of width. There is a standard tray table which, as this is a bulkhead seat, comes out of a cupboard in the bulkhead. In the seat pocket you'll find a safety card, magazine, emergency exit row card and air sickness bag. Above are individual reading lights, air vents and a flight attendant call button. Soon the props began to turn, an hour and 9 minutes behind our scheduled departure time.
It must be placed underneath the seat in front of you. And larger electronic devices such as laptops must be secured for takeoff. You may use them once we are in flight. Thank you for your attention.
We taxied to runway 16 via Alpha, Uniform, Victor and Charlie. Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. After takeoff, we spun around to the right over the western suburbs of Melbourne, setting up a northeasterly course for Wollongong. Flight time today is 1 hour and 23 minutes, covering a distance of 430 miles or 692 kilometers, cruising at 15,000 feet. Once airborne, we made a sweeping right-hand turn over the suburbs such as Sydenham, Water Gardens and St Albans. This was then followed by the in-flight service, which today we had 2 options, sweet or savoury. I chose the savoury option today, which was cheese and crackers as well as a cup of white wine, which was a delicious Sauvignon Blanc. Whilst enjoying my wine, we passed near Alexandra, and just in the distance was Lake Eildon, which is one of the most dangerous bodies of water in Australia due to the high presence of blue-green algae. Around an hour after departure, down below was the Australian capital of Canberra, but unfortunately it was shrouded by cloud. Just prior to descent, we were handed out mint Mentos, which was a very nice touch. On board the aircraft is a single lavatory located at the front of the aircraft, just behind the cockpit. Inside is everything typical for this aircraft type, however, expectedly, the water has since been decommissioned. Soon we commenced our descent into Wollongong. With an extensive low-pressure system surrounding the Sydney, Newcastle and Wollongong region, practically nothing could be seen until we passed underneath the cloud layer at 10,000 feet, which stretched as far as the eye could see, and was several thousand feet thick. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter what side of the aircraft you sit on when flying into Wollongong, as both give equally impressive views onto Lake Illawarra, the Wollongong Central Business District, Shellharbour, and all of the other suburbs on both sides of the airport. I will say, however, the right side tends to give you better views, as you also get to view the mountain range to the west. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the terminal via Delta. We pulled into stand 2, 57 minutes behind our scheduled arrival time. After the props were halted and the door was opened, I stepped off the aircraft and down onto the apron, thanking the crew for her excellent service and conversation on board. I then also applauded the first officer for her excellent landing. Today was not my first time flying Link, let alone on this route. However, despite being roughly a year between flights, practically nothing has changed, including that of the service, which was great to see. Honestly, I would have liked a little bit extra food for the price of this flight, but I can't complain too much, as this was fairly consistent in comparison to, say, Qantas. Would I ever fly this route if I didn't have to? Honestly, no, I wouldn't, as it was merely because my folks were in Wollongong at the time. However, for locals, this is a fantastic way to get not only to Melbourne, but to Brisbane too. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to check out the other videos I have on my YouTube channel, and also I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join. Link is at the top of the description. And don't forget to ring that notification bell if you enjoy my content, and if you want to see more, I post my videos every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time, and I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later!